being homeless as a kid, what is that experience like?
Oh man, for me,
Growing in your faith and all that, right?
mhm,
But then you start hitting this depression.
so got away from God. You got to be a dad. I'm a dad at 18. Eventually, it got so overwhelming and heavy. My first reaction to that is I caught a panic attack and I thought I had a heart attack.
Did you ever took action?
Yeah, so that's how this came about.
Junior on the beat, boy. Ya estás, podcast, boy. Let's go. Ya estás, no vuelvo para atrás, libre del Alcatraz, en la guerra tengo paz. Mis metralletas es la oración y adoración, salvación para mi nación, manifestar el reino es la meta. Puesta la armadura, que las criaturas andan duras de la dimensión oscura, mi alma se apresura.
Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of
Ya estás podcast.
Yes. Bam, bam, bam.
Bam, bam, bam.
Yo, so how you doing, bro?
Bro, let's get it, man.
Yeah, all right. Let's
Motivated.
get it poppin'. Yeah. So our guest today, I met this brother at a pop-up actually.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
I got invited to say, yeah, got invited to sell some merch, you know what I mean? And they pulled up to the tent and we just started chopping it up, told me a little bit about the movement and what they got going on. I was like, yo, we got this podcast and I think you should slide through and share your stories. So sure enough, he's right here. Let's give a warm welcome to our brother Vince.
Vicente.
What's up?
Vicente
Going on?
Chente.
I like this. I like this. Let's go. Let's go.
Thanks for sliding through, bro.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for giving
Appreciate it.
giving
Yes,
us
sir.
your time.
Yes, sir.
And man, without further ado, bro, like where you from?
All right. So to give a little background about myself, originally I was born in Louisiana, New Orleans. Y'all familiar?
Okay.
Yes, I've
Nah, never been there,
Never
but
been there.
never been there. It's known for food and partying.
yeah.
Yeah. So I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana. Grew up, family, mom and dad, but then eventually, they split and whatnot. Mom's had a different plan or whatnot, and at 3, 4 years old. Sorry, mom, if I get the age wrong, but we ended up moving to LA. So my experience of like being in LA and New Orleans was just two different things because I went to LA, then came back for the summer to see pops and stuff like that. But I didn't come back until like I was 7 years old. So from there it was just back and forth.
How old were you when your mom and dad split?
Man, to be honest, it was off and on. It was like a blur. But once she left to LA, that was it. So I want to say I was about 5, 6 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I was young. Yeah, but I used to go back. So I
Mm.
used to go back. Back then you can fly solo, but you had to. I forgot what they call it, but you would fly with
Oh,
the
yeah.
yeah. So I used to go back for the summer. I used to go back with a skateboard. I was the only one skateboarding back then in New Orleans. That is. Yeah.
Any siblings?
Yes. Now, so I didn't have them then. I had a younger brother. We 10 years apart. So
Okay.
he was born in LA. So my mom met someone in LA, and then I had a
So
young
not
brother.
no siblings with.
Nah, not with my dad. I'm
Yeah.
my pop's only child.
So when your parents split, do you have memory of that or?
Yeah, I do. I have like glimpse, man. It's like like I can remember things. I could smells. Like if I get a smell or something, I can remember things, but I
Wow.
can't put it all in like perspective and order. But I can remember like this happened, that happened, that happened, and then they'll just confirm the stories or whatnot, and that's how I know I remember certain things, but not like in order because it was so long ago, man. I'm
Hey, you're a
46
kid.
years old. Yeah, so I was a kid, man, but I just remember if I had any like memory, man, going back, it was like I was just a kid, man, playing love, family, music. The culture there in New Orleans is about food and music, so that was just very like known back then, you know what I mean? So it was a lot of that going on. But as a kid, you don't understand adults, so the separation and all of that stuff, what you've seen between moms and dads,
You
the
don't understand
arguments and that.
adults.
Yeah, you know, you didn't. I didn't
Think you
understand
do,
adults.
but you
Yeah,
don't.
don't. You really don't.
Yeah.
Just know one day we going to California. That's it, and
What
just like that.
did that hit you in any way or form? Like what?
Yeah, like not really. I didn't understand it because I was too young until I actually got to LA and realized I was no longer seeing family members, like cousins and stuff. Like that's when it hit like, oh, I'm never going back here. Like I'm in LA now. It's a whole different story. And we moved in, we was in South Central Los Angeles at the
Oh shoot.
yeah, yeah. This is when like I was starting to learn a little bit about the other side of the culture, the gangs and stuff like that. So that was the battle with moms trying to keep me from that, you know what I mean, and whatnot. So yes, I'm leaving New Orleans, going to LA, but it's a whole different culture, like two different cultures, you know what I mean? So it's like as a kid, you still don't really understand. At least I didn't. I always follow moms. Moms was my superhero.
You're just hungry when you're a
Yeah,
kid, bro.
yeah.
You're just hungry. Like, where's the food?
Moms was my super.
Where do I sleep?
Yeah.
Oh, where's my
Yeah,
toys?
yeah, facts. Yes. So that's what that was, man. And like to not say it was a blur, I remember just being her trying to come up. We stayed in the shelter. We stayed in the shelter to get on her feet and stuff like that. We stayed near Venice Beach. There was
Yeah.
a shelter. So I grew up like I didn't grow up in the shelter, but I had that like a little experience. Yeah. So that's how we, came up or whatnot. But it was different. It was different, So going
Were you going to school while staying at the shelter?
yes, I was going to the school. The school was I don't know why I remember this. It was called Cordy Lane. You can still like I find myself looking it up and I see it. The school still exists. So yeah, so that was one of the schools I went to. I remember catching the school bus, going to the school or whatnot. Your mom dropping me off at the bus stop or whatnot. There was also another school I went to before that. It was called Selma. It was in Hollywood. We used to live in Hollywood off of Yucca and Cahuenga. It was so different back then though, because we used to skateboard the Hollywood stars or whatnot. I used to always be on the skateboard or whatnot. But
Okay.
it's a different type of culture, man.
100%. That Hollywood
Yeah.
culture is different.
Yeah,
You
it was
were
different.
culture shock.
Freaks
Definitely.
Duke out at night.
Yeah, so that was a song. That was one of the songs. Yeah.
Oh, the freaks
So
come out at night?
yeah, that was like known. That was a known song. So at the time, but yeah,
Did your mom and yourself adapt real good to Hollywood or that California life?
my mom did. Like I did. Like I said, she was my superhero. So I always followed her. Like it was.
Shout out to your mom.
Yeah. So whatever she said went. Like it went. You know what I mean? Mom's is like one of those. Oh, I don't know him. You can't play with him type thing. But of course, when you go to school, you hang with those type of. Anyways, you know what I mean? So it was.
So how was it going back to the NO and
Oh man, that was cool. So me going back was like being a superstar in a sense because everybody knew about California. So here I am,
Movie star.
this homeless kid, telling everybody else about California. So there was a song. It never rains in Southern Cali. Y'all remember that song, California? That was a popular song. So they used to sing it back
who sang
then.
it?
Who sang that song, boss? Boss, no, I know you know who sang that.
He knows he don't want to say it.
He say I forgot. I can't sing. He the singer, but it was a popular song, boss. And
I'm trying
they
to
used
think
to. I
of it.
can't think. I'm gonna tell you after this. We're gonna come. I can't
Yeah,
think the name,
It's
but
all good, it's all
they
good.
used to make fun. Like they used to sing it. Oh, do it rain in California? What is it like on the beach? What is that? That's the kind of questions I used to get. So I was like a superstar. But then, of course, I head back to L.A. So
Yeah. Kind of reminds me when as a Mexican you go back down to Mexico and people that can't come here,
yeah.
they're like, yo, like
So clean over there. Woo!
yo, that's no, they think money grows on trees out here. Like you just cross the border and people are just offering you jobs and monies and houses.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's
nah, I
crazy.
ain't really like that. So damn, man, being homeless as a kid, what is that experience like?
Oh man, for me, it was like Disneyland in a sense. The reason why, because we stayed on. My mom had a Mitsubishi. I remember the blue car. I used to sleep in the
Galant?
back seat, and I used to go on to the beach. I used to just run, and she used to always wave, "Hey, I'm right here. If you need me, go ahead." And I used to just run in the water, man, like just run in the water, get my feet wet. There's still pictures that I have of me and her next to each other from way back on a like the Polaroid. It's the
Oh, yeah,
Polaroid,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I still
Polaroid,
have that
yeah.
picture, so I still
Oh,
have that
wow.
picture. Yeah, so I'm gonna actually
So
post that on my IG.
you
Yeah, I'm
should,
gonna
bro.
post
Heck
that. Yeah, I'm next to her. I'm all like a little skinny, scrawny kid. Next, I don't even know who took the picture. Like, I don't even
probably
remember
just
who took the
some
picture.
homeless dude on
We
the
have the
beach.
picture, yeah. So we was on the beach. It was like if if you've been to Venice, it's like a fantasy if you've never been there. So as a kid, I used to see this cat called Tony the Fireman. He used to do tricks, blow out fire or whatnot. So I used to always see the cats do all the little tricks, flips on I was into that. So I would always watch that and then run to the beach. But here I am, I'm still homeless. I don't know. I don't know no better.
So you just having fun.
I'm having fun as a
Bro, it's because
kid.
when you're a kid, bro, you don't know that
Really.
struggle, bro.
You don't. I didn't
Bro,
know the
you know
struggle.
what? I lived in a shelter. I don't know how long, but I have that memory
Yeah.
of seeing a lot of kids,
Yeah. Yeah.
a lot of
Absolutely.
moms.
How
Absolutely.
old were you?
I don't know, probably like 8, like I don't know, like 5, 6, 8. I don't.
You don't have.
My memory is so bad, bro. For like me, all those drugs, bro. But like,
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot of things, but I do remember just certain times, like bunk beds being available. And I don't know what type of shelter it was, bro. But
Yeah.
there was a lot of family there, and from domestic violence, because my mom was running away from my dad. Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
it was probably a
Yeah.
government
Yeah.
shelter, maybe.
So
That's kind of how it was because we had kids that was going to the same school as a group. So that's how it was in the
Yeah.
shelter, literally like that. So you had the dinner time, the breakfast time,
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
that type of stuff. Yeah, it was the
okay.
same thing.
When did you guys get your own place?
Whew, so I want to say about 10, 11 years old, 9, 10. I know it's somewhere in
Felt good
there.
though, huh?
I remember leaving. We left LA and came to San Diego. And that was the start of San Diego was a new life. And it was like the apartment started, like all that. Yeah. So that's when it was like the come up. Like I didn't know why we was coming to San Diego. I just remember actually my aunt stayed in San Diego. And I remember my mom saying she wanted to be close to family. So we brought us to San Diego, and my location was North Park. So
Oh,
North Park is where I grew up at, pretty much. Me and that.
another place where the
Yes,
funk
I was
was.
like ping ponging.
That's mini
Yeah.
Hollywood, bro.
Yeah.
Without the stars.
Yeah.
Oh, because back in those days, there was gangs in North. Like it's not like
Yeah.
how it is
Facts.
now. I
Facts.
mean, even right here where we at. I mean,
So LA was like that too growing up. Now, mind you, that I got involved as a youngster. I got my teeth knocked out. My mom just prophesied that like a month ago. She said she called me randomly. My brothers and sisters I guess I was on speaker. She said, "Did you get jumped in the gang doing when you got your teeth knocked out?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I prophesied that. God told me, he showed me that." So what happened is I got punched, fell, and hit a wall. Boom, teeth came out. So out of that fear, everybody pulled back. Hey, get up, get up. Teeth knocked out. So out of fear, I'm thinking I'm not crying. Started crying, not because of that, because of what my mom's reaction was gonna be. Mom didn't play like that. You know what I mean? So
So
she
she
one of those. Oh, I
get
got
the
your
whoop.
gang. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I got
You
your
want
gang
real
over.
gang? I'm a
Yes,
gang member.
yeah.
I'm the real
Play like
gangster.
that. So yeah, back then it was crazy because the gangs were like Mexicans and blacks were in the same gang at the time, and then I was next to 18th Street.
Mm.
So 18th Street was one of the gangs. The other one was ABZ. It was called the Alcoholic Boys. I can't believe I just said that. I ain't know nothing about it, but I just knew people that went to the school
Yeah.
was just saying that. You know what I mean? So I was around them. It became one of those things. Hey, you know what this is? You know what I mean? Playing with the kids and whatnot and all of that. And one of the older guys, just being older at the time, was like, "Hey, we about to jump him in." I remember that. I remember it like yesterday. And we used to all stay in the same building. The buildings back then, it was like a 4-story building, but there were hallways. It was inside, so I knew exactly where every kid stayed.
So
From
it's like the
first floor to
projects.
it's like the projects, but it was inside. Now here's the kick. Y'all remember the Guardian Angels? There was a group called the Guardian Angels. They used to wear white and red, and they used to patrol. I want to say there was a nonprofit back then. I just found that out. So there was like a nonprofit organization that went against gangs. So they, whenever it was like a problem, they fought against the gangs and stuff like that. You used to see them patrolling. You would see them walking around. You can literally look that up in your phone. They're called the Guardian Angels. It was a known thing in LA. So we used to always see, that's how old I am, bro. Like I still remember that. And most people don't know that. So if you're from LA and you don't know that, then it's like you remember that, especially if you was in the streets.
They were against like the gang
Yeah, they stood against it. They stood against it. They were like
in a good way or
in a good way. So they like were patrolling. They patrol neighborhoods and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So cats won't get picked on or whatever. Whatever, you know how gangs were back then. So whenever there was an issue, they showed up, you know?
LA was uncontrollable,
Man,
bro.
LA was different. LA was
They had like gangs inside gangs.
yeah. It was
It was
different.
crazy.
Well, and it's crazy that you got bunch of gangs in one small area,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
blocks.
Yeah.
Talking about 2-3 blocks is the gang, and then the other 2-3 blocks is another gang. It's just-
Yeah. That's
You
lit-
cross the
uh,
street, it's a different gang.
yeah. You
It's like-
cross the street, and it's
yeah.
I mean, your life is in.
And it's the same street. It's Kenwood.
Yeah, man. It was
Across the street, it's a wrap.
And this all happened in like in Hollywood, like off of Yuccan. It was different back then. And we drive over there to this day. It's so different.
Yes.
It's all kind of businesses or whatnot. And it's like, nah, man. I remember skating board down there. It was like this over there. No.
So the
Oh,
when you got jumped in, it was in LA or was
It
it,
was
here?
in LA. It
Oh,
was in LA. Yeah, LA. That
So-
happened twice.
oh, you got
Yeah.
jumped in twice?
Twice. The
What?
funny so my teeth got knocked out. Remember that, right?
Oh,
We'll
so
get them
you
after
did-
the dentist.
Yeah. So the next time it happened, my mom jumped in it. She thought it was just it was a regular fight, but what happened was I had fell, and the person.
I love your
that
mom
fell
already,
fell on-
bro.
Yeah, it started. Moms can contest to that. Yeah, these are stories I've never told nobody.
Mm.
These are stories that he probably hearing this for the first time, but that really happened.
Oh,
Mom
hey.
jumped out. Mom jumped out. She jumped, looked out the window. She heard a friend, a female friend. Her name was Chantel. Still remember it. And she was like, Lisa, Miss Lisa. She calling my mom's name. My mom looks, runs down just that quick, grab bro. And this was his name was Jorge. He was a cool cat, but his dad was an OG from 18th Street. And that dude gave me the lecture of a lifetime about gangs. And then he like in front of everybody, it was like a commotion. This happened all fast. He slapped his son in front of her and then like grabbed him, but then pulled me to the side. And my mom was like, "You ain't ready for this." Like he just started going off,
Yeah.
started showing me the little stab wounds he had and all that. You think you ready for this? You think you know how them cholos talk? You know what I mean? Like you want to be this? My son is not gonna hang out with you. And he told him, like, you're not hanging out with this kid no more. You know what I mean? But it was like one of those. It was like now it was a beautiful lecture. Back then it was like I'm in trouble. You know what I mean? I gotta go home after this. Mom's about to beat on me. Like, you know what I mean? So that was like the whole, like, that was everything was happening so fast in LA, man. Like it was just happening. Like moms is always like, oh, they're not about to get my son. That's how she played it. You know what I mean?
So did you never got like in too deep?
Nah, I didn't go too deep.
And when you moved up here, what was
Nah,
that? Like?
I knew better then. Now I was like, I know what that lifestyle was back then. I
And his mom was involved.
My mom was involved. Mom's was like, she didn't like certain people. If she didn't like the way a kid looked or how his parents was, it was over with.
Wow.
Don't bring him to my house. He can't come over, Dad. It was like that. So I found my love in like sports. So I picked up a basketball, and it was a basketball thing from then. So, but yeah, Mom's was definitely involved, man. Like she didn't play.
So I know when we have that brief conversation when we met, you talked about depression.
Yeah,
So-
facts.
So what was it that made you fall into?
Okay, so a blur, fast forward, depression, getting older. So what happened was,
You end up staying in San Diego?
I stayed in San Diego. Yeah, I stayed in San Diego, my home. I'm a Cali kid, man. I got that on my back. So like I rep Cali. That's all I know. You know what I mean? Yes, I have family back in the South, but like California, I feel like raised me.
Yeah.
And so did New Orleans in the sense of like cultural, like staying with cousins and stuff like that. That we don't see that no more. You know what I mean? Like staying over grandma's house.
Talk
I
about
miss
that,
those.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you stop seeing that. Grandma making pancakes for everybody. Everybody staying in one spot.
Oh,
Yeah.
the wrestling.
Yeah. Getting in trouble, jumping on the bed. Yeah. So
Grandma yelling across the.
yeah, yeah. Rest in peace to my grandmother. But yes, so depression hit me in the sense of like suicide thoughts, man. I want to say I was just trying to discover who I was
Mm.
and didn't know who I was. I was trying everything, trying music. I never got into like drugs and no say like that. It just was mental. It was just like I can hear. Well, I'm thinking I'm tripping. Like, why can't I get straight? What is it I'm supposed to do? I tried music. I was just trying
Oh, we.
everything. When I first got into like when I really started hitting the pressure, I want to say like early 30s, late 20s. But like I'm 46 now, so I want to say about in the third, man, it took a while. It was 30s, late, like I say, 28, 29. It just hit. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Because I was trying music, I was trying everything.
Was there a certain experience that you remember as a child or young teen or something that
Like
it
trauma.
haunted you? Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say that would have to be like just my fear of being homeless and stuff like that. Like I always push hard because of that. Like I knew what that was like, and I don't know. I was looking for escape. You know what I mean? Like a
So you said that the experience as being homeless, it wasn't that bad. Like it was fun, right?
it was fun as a kid, but as you got older, you know what I mean? You
Well, I
like
kind of understand what you're saying, bro. It's
yeah,
like the moment of, man, if am I ever gonna get to that point?
yeah,
Am I gonna be like once upon a time bringing my family to a shelter?
exactly. So
Oh,
spheres of like
yeah.
stuff like that, man. Although back then, coming up 18 and 17, 16 in North Park, rent was different, prices was different. Now today, what it costs to live out, all that,
Yes,
right?
It's,
So all that played a part. So it's like, yo, am I even doing am I doing the right thing? Why I keep feeling like I'm failing at everything? You know
mm.
what
So
I mean?
you didn't go to college?
No, I didn't go to school. I tried. I knew that wasn't for me when I tried. I went on a college campus and nah, this ain't it. Like,
You get quick.
I just like nah, this ain't it. Like, cause I was like struggling in high school in the sense of like I was smart enough to get the answer, but not smart enough to pay attention.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like I was the Cliff Note cat. Like I'm not reading that. I'm gonna go to the library and get the answer in 10. I was that guy, you know what I mean? So I finessed my way through high school. So I wasn't like the kid that was gonna give you the straight A's just from studying because I felt like studying was like not my thing at the
You know,
time.
like a little quick side note, it's proven, bro, that the educational system, that's why it has failed, because we all learn different,
Yes.
and they're
Facts.
trying to teach every kid the same
Same.
way.
Yes. We were just speaking about
So now you have all these ADDs and
yeah.
HDs and HDAD,
Yeah.
like OCDC, or like
Yeah.
I don't even know the terms, bro.
I'm under all those brackets, bro.
Yeah.
Whatever those
But
umbrellas are, I'm right there.
Yeah.
but it's not because a kid is dumb or has a deficiency. It's
Yeah.
because we all learn different, you
We
know.
do. Facts. I agree. You learn that when you get older though. You don't
Yeah,
learn that at the time, right? So like they try to make it seem like I had a learning disability.
at
You
that
know what I
point.
mean?
Yeah.
So it came down to all of that, and then I remember my coach shut that down quick. Shout out to my coach King. I don't know if he's still coaching at Scripps Ranch or whatnot, but
Oh, you're at Scripps
I
Ranch?
went to Scripps. That's where I graduated
Oh
from.
shoot, all the white kids, bro.
Yeah, where it was, we got bussed out there now. You show up on the camp. People used to think that, but you went on campus, you were like, hold up, man. Like,
That's
It was,
where
yeah,
in San Bernardino.
oh, it's
like in
right next
Berkeley.
to Mira Mesa.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
right.
Poway.
Yeah.
Well, close
Well, I
enough.
got bussed out. So I got bussed out. So it was a bunch of kids from North Park that got bussed out. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah, back then. So that's how it
Oh,
was.
that's dope. That's
But
dope.
yeah, it was cool over there.
So, do you think that the experience of being homeless created a sense of unworthiness or a sense of value, like self value?
Like in a sense of what you're saying exactly, like just
Like, okay, I'm not good enough, or
yeah,
I,
sure,
I'm not,
for sure,
you
for
know,
sure.
because that's
Like
what society, unfortunately,
yeah, and you want to play the blame game, but you come back to reality. It's like, nah, it's me, it's me. You know what I mean? Like, I've just felt like a complete failure, man, at everything, just everything. Like basketball hurt me because I had dreams of play. Every kid has dreams of playing
I
ball,
want to
right?
go to the
So
NFL.
yeah,
But I
we have
smoke
these.
way too much weed.
And once that gets shattered, you like, man, I'm not good enough. I thought I was good. You know what I mean? But it's like more than just basketball. It's grades, it's school, it's timing, it's all this other stuff, man. Different type of politics. We didn't have the money for that, and you know what I mean,
yeah.
paying for the school and all of that.
Did you hear your mom's voice like let's say your first day of your job, bro? What was your first job that you got out of high school?
Goodness, the Navy exchange.
Join the military.
I worked on a Navy. This is back then when you can go on the base, the military base. This is in Miramar.
Yeah,
So the
remember.
Navy exchange during the high school program, I was working. You know what I mean? So that was doing like when the school was out for the summer. So that was my first job. You know what I mean? So I thought I was somebody, but like it was just different. You know, like okay, this is what you do to make money type stuff. You know, so that was my first fun job, I want to say. But that
You're making money.
I was making money, but I had to get that to mom. Mom, and because she knew I was gonna do something crazy with it, you know what I mean? So let me get that. I need that. Give me that. We gonna get some school books, you know. I would have spent it on video games, CDs, basketball stuff. Yeah, the average
Here's-
stuff. So she knew. But I thought I was so upset, man. I was like, every time, well, I don't even want to work no more. You gonna take my money? You know, that's
She's
how
like,
I
isn't it
felt.
today the
Yeah.
15th?
I don't even want to
It's
work no more.
payday.
Pointless, you know?
Payday.
She was like, no, let me get that. I'm
Check
like,
didn't come through, mom.
Vincent,
yeah.
give me that check.
You used to put it away for
Pay rent.
school. We're
Yeah.
gonna get you school. This how you get your school clothes, you know?
Bro, is it weird or like I don't know why, but like there was an age gap where I heard my mom's voice like saying that's not
I
good.
still do.
Like that's not you know what I mean? Like
I still hear that. I still to this day. My mom used to
'cause my mom was she struggled too, bro. Like she
yeah.
single mom,
Yeah.
you know, trying her best. There was
Yeah.
4 of us.
Yeah. See, yeah, it was man. I still hear my mom's voice to this day. One of them I use for the brand. She said she used to always sit me down. Boy, you know what your name mean? You are a conqueror. My name means to conquer. So on one of my hoodies that I have, it's called Conquer Your Fear. So we started doing Conquer Your Fear challenges, like workout stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, so
Well, we're gonna get into that.
yeah,
in just
but
a
I didn't
bit.
want to jump to
Yeah.
say that. Yeah.
No, no. Okay, so you going through all that experience, right? And do you think the lack of a father figure was a major factor on?
So there was my mom. I had a stepdad in the house, but he was the working stepdad. You know, he was always at work, and yes, in a sense of communication. But I did have a mentor coming up. One of my good mentor friends to this day. He's a pastor, so that's who led me to God or whatnot. But before, like, basically. I want to say he pretty much saved me from myself. You know what I mean?
Mm,
But still, when you meet God, man, you still young and you still have these you have these spiritual battles. You don't know what they are. You just like, man, I'm going to camps, I'm going to Bible study, I'm doing this, doing that. When I'm around him, I'm good. When I'm somewhere else, it's a
mm,
spiritual battle, you know, because I'm still in our part. There's
yeah.
still knuckleheads. There's still this going on. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
So how old were you when you had that encounter with God?
I was like, how old I was? So
Yeah.
my first, I want to say I was 14. The first time I got saved, it was it was an event by Miles McPherson.
Oh
It
wow.
was called the Destination Miles of Head. Miles of Head, he had it at the sports arena.
Okay.
So this is when I was going to Mary Mesa High School for my freshman year before I went to Scripps.
Okay.
So you can see me on the poster. I was in the front. I got saved. That's when I got saved. That was the first time. And that's when I was like, okay, this God thing, you know.
I'm with it.
something. I'm with this. This is something new. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And we knew of God, like you know of God coming up as a youngster in the South, but it's different. You hear it, but you don't. It's the
Yeah.
walk is different. Not for. I won't say that for everybody. You know what I mean? Some people.
It was almost part of the culture down there. Like
It is,
now-
it is, but it's not. Like it's a known thing, but some people are deep in and some people are not. It's just like, oh, I know God got me, like type of stuff. You know what I
Right.
mean? But it's more of faith, right? It's more of walking. It's more of reading the Bible. Like who pick up their Bible?
Mm,
Who's reading every day?
yeah.
you know
I mean,
different.
that saying the Texas belt. What do they call that? The Texas belt? No, they call it the church belt. What do they call that? Like they like Texas is known for the God country. You heard of that?
yeah, I've heard of that. I
how
don't know
people-
about the.
They call it the Bible Belt. Is that what they call it?
I'm not.
It's a term. It's a term
You
where
just came back from Texas, so maybe you heard of it.
no,
like-
but it's a
Okay.
term that they use where it's part of their culture, bro, to talk naturally about God.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's different. When we talk about God, makes people feel uncomfortable because they don't hear it often.
Yeah.
But over there, it's something like asking for a glass of water. It's
It's
just
cul-
different.
the culture is
Yes,
different.
the culture.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
bro, I'll see you at church on Sunday. And, just stuff like that. Hey, bro, I'll see you at church on
So
Sunday.
just normal. Like
It's
just
normal.
conversation. Yeah.
So you going to church, I suppose.
Yeah.
You're going to men's group, Bible studies, all that.
Yeah.
Uh,
So my mentor
You're
had.
getting it in.
Yeah, because my mentor had me at camps. We was Graffiti Busters. The group was called Graffiti Busters back then. We used to paint over graffiti around San Diego.
Mm.
So we used to do stuff like that. And there was always Bible studies, man. On Tuesdays after school, there was Bible studies at the church. It's called Grace now, but it was called Scott's Memorial back then.
Mm.
So that's in our park. So there was all these inner city kids, man, going to these Bible studies or whatnot. But, they had backgrounds of like gang members, brothers, older brothers, family members. That's kind of like another part of me learning more about gangs too, because it's just like I was always around it. You know what I mean? So I just understood like the politics, but I didn't go too deep. Like I never went all the way in. I just knew people that was
Mm.
in, you know what I mean? I became the basketball guy. I was the dude that just went everywhere to play ball. So when I was in the streets, my streets was in the basketball courts. But there was fights on the basketball courts.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like you got next, no you don't. He got next. Nah, I got next. I've been here. You know what I
You
mean?
fall in love with those people, and
Yeah.
you don't feel like out of place.
Nah,
No, this is-
nah.
This is good. I love. That's why when I go and I see gang members, see cholos on the street, I don't feel like, oh, I don't want to say what's up. It's more like what's up because you understand.
Respect, yeah.
Yeah,
Always
you
respect.
understand,
It's
yeah.
Respect. I always got respect for
You
him.
got love too. Like
Yeah.
you feel love for them.
Yeah.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
they're people at the end of
Yeah.
the day, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But other people be like, oh my gosh, what are they doing standing outside?
Yeah,
I'm like, what's up, bro?
Those are the people.
Yeah, that don't really know the movement and the culture. And it's understandable though, man. If you see
Yeah,
us just
exactly.
standing in front of us, I get it,
Oh, it's like when people go down to Mexico and they see the checkpoints with all the militaries and all the
Yo,
machine guns. So it's
every-
like, yo,
Yeah, you be like, hold
still
up,
don't
man.
understand
all right. So you going through growing up, growing in your faith and all that, right?
hmm
But then you start hitting this depression.
So I got away from God. Just got away. Just
What made you decide to walk away?
life hitting you. I had a kid, a son. I had a daughter before, I was in a relationship previous to my wife. So
Mm.
I was not living spiritually, you know what I mean? So all of that was playing a part. You got to be a dad. I'm a dad at 18. I didn't even get to walk across the stage before my ex was like, I'm pregnant. So this is
Oh,
graduation. Yes.
Um,
Yes. Yeah.
Can you
So
relate to that?
yeah, so it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's about to get real then. You know what I mean? So that all played a part because now you gotta move fast. Now you gotta
Yeah.
get the job. Now you gotta keep the job. Now you gotta support the family. I'm still a kid, man.
and you're
Still
attached to
learning.
that girl.
Yes. Yes,
You can't just walk
heavily.
away.
Yeah,
I
heavily.
mean, you
Yeah.
can, but
Oh, I'm not gonna
You
answer.
can't. You can't because you don't want to leave the situation, and I felt like I didn't want to leave her in a
Sees there.
situation. You sees there all these different emotions and all of that. And the number one thing about it is you just immature.
Yeah, that's
I was very immature, man. I didn't grow up fast. Like I'm still trying to hoop, play ball and stuff like
yeah,
that. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I didn't grow for the girls grew up for like they get it. Like the girls, they turn it on. It take us a little. You know how men is. It take us a little longer, bro.
We don't have the baby inside our belly, so we don't even
Shout
know.
out to right. Shout out to the young men that do get in that situation and they handle it right away. But some of us, man, we be like,
I don't think I've ever met one.
you never met one. Some males can be responsible. They have some like
The
not.
responsibility part, yeah, but
I
for
was
the-
none of that.
yeah,
Like
neither,
straight up, I
bro.
was just
'Cause
like, nah, this ain't. Yeah.
me the same way. Like it was actually right after graduate. It was on my birthday. And she's like, "Yo,
Yo, see
it's
that?
because Mexicanos are fertile, bro.
We're
fertile.
All right, so check this out. Check
black
this
and
out.
black and brown, bro.
I'm
We're
about
just
to-
a little."
So
Fertile, bro.
So
Kiss, you're
so-
pregnant.
So here we go. So my ex is Mexican and my wife is Mexican.
Oh, so
Game changer.
Yeah,
And then,
bro. You
That's
hold
what
hand.
That's what I fell in. That's what I fell in love with when I came to Cali, though. You know what I mean? That's what I was seeing all the time. That's who seen me, and that's who liked me. You know what I mean? So
High five.
yeah, I'm
Right.
with it. I'm with it. Yeah, I'm with it.
Quick.
it's like,
I'm
remind
with
me
it.
of that movie, Don't Be a Menace. You remember that movie?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
I have
Facts.
five
Yo.
kids, fool. I know what it feels like.
Facts. Yo,
It's like, dang, I'm gonna be a father.
and here we go. Okay, let's
See, it's like
rodeo.
I was a responsible dad when it came to finances,
Yeah,
bro. I wasn't respectful to the mom, and no, you still want to live. You know what I'm saying? Like you
that's
still
what I
wanna
was.
have fun.
Man,
So I
Yeah.
get it.
yeah.
So and then, were you married now before 30 with your current wife, or?
Yes, it's my current. So that relationship ended. It didn't end like really on my ex. Um, it didn't end really on a good note. It was just immatureness,
Yeah, yeah.
right? I'll
Both
take half
sides.
of that. I'll
Yeah.
probably take more of that. You know what I mean? But eventually I met my wife and things got better in a sense of like I started understanding I had to grow up. She made me grow up. She made me grow like I had to, oh, you for real, because she had her own job and her own car. So now I gotta keep up with that. You know what I mean? But then you fall off and you fall like you still feeling like you still trying to play the game, being a male and whatnot. So
Yeah.
takes a while for us to be mature. It took me a while to understand, like, okay, let's get on board with this. You know what I mean? So all that depression, man, just everything I'm fighting in my head. I'm not mentally good enough to be here. I'm not meant, you know what I mean? So I was battling that.
Bro, plus those steps that we're supposed to learn from our dad, bro.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
They're not there. Like my dad, he ran away, bro. Like my dad was I have brothers and sisters my age, bro. So what does that mean?
Yeah, see, my pop.
My dad was a real Vicente Fernandez. You know what I mean? Like he was out there. He was out there doing stuff. You know what I mean? He was a real Vicente.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is those footprints, bro, were not there. Like how would you react when your dad's not there? You can, hey dad, how am I supposed to treat the situation?
I didn't have that.
Yeah, we didn't have that.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing, bro. Is that machismo, right? Or I don't know in English how they call it, but we know like
Yeah.
The Debo. Debo.
no, is the culture, right? Is oh well, I'm a player, like I'm a
Yeah.
real man because I got all these females. You know, I'm a real macho because I got all these families, and I'm able to. But that's not being a man, yo. Like being a man is being able to supply and for one woman, like
Yeah. That's
right.
real talk. That's real.
That's what it
Yeah.
takes, real man, and
Yeah.
that's how you raise kids.
Thick and thin. Being there, putting in the work, spending that quality time.
Yeah.
How easy it is to your partner, wife, girlfriend, whatever gets you upset. You're like, I'm gonna go hit a
Yep.
side.
That's the
That's the easy way
yeah.
out.
Facts. I
The
agree.
way you said side piece, bro, I kind of believed you, bro. Like the way you did it, bro. You were like, bro, that's side piece. Like, dang.
Hey,
In my mind, I thought, dang, bro.
I'm talking about experience here.
I know,
I'm not
bro.
talking about
No,
something
no,
that
but the way you said
I
it, bro,
haven't
was,
been through, right?
bro, but the way you said it was so convincing, bro. I'm like, my boy's struggling.
This guy.
Yeah, he said that.
I exposed myself. Sheesh. All right, bro. So, man, you're going through all that struggle, and you said something about suicidal thoughts.
Yeah, yeah. So eventually it got so overwhelming and heavy. My first reaction to that is I caught a panic attack and I thought I had a heart attack. So this is at Disneyland, by the way. So this is my birthday. It's like a day we went for my birthday, stayed in the hotel, and
Who are you there with?
I was there with my best friend who's part of One Way 7 with me, my wife, and his ex at the time. So we stayed in the Disneyland hotel. And I just like boom popped up like yo, something wrong. And then my heart started beating fast. So when my heart started beating fast, now mind you, I had my shirt on, but I had my drawers on. I pop up. I'm just trying to like, yo, I can't breathe. You know what I mean? And that was the first sign, like, okay, something's wrong, you know. So I put in my head that I was gonna die. So I kept in my head, it just felt like I kept having panic attacks after panic attacks after panic attacks. I'm sitting in the ER. This is after Disneyland. This is like continuously all the time. So it got to the point where we started going to the ER and they're checking me, doing EKGs. Nothing wrong with you, man. Like you good. I'm like, nah, I'm about to check out. Y'all don't got enough information. Nothing like I'm waking up in the middle of the night, my heart is just like just
Are you
fast.
stressing out about money?
No, I don't know, man. It was just like they had gave me beta blockers. I just was like, I'm about to die. Like beta blockers is like a pill you take that slows down your heart rate.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
What
so
the aspirin does, right? Or
it's
something like
like
that?
an aspirin, yeah, but it's like stronger because it's supposed to calm you. So I was battling that. So I was just stressing, just like body stressing. This is before I got into the gym. I was real skinny. I was just like, no, I'm finna die. I'm about to check out. Like I'm about to check out. So that was in my head the whole time, like every day, all day.
So you wanted to take your own life instead of.
Eventually, yeah, it started building up. I started hearing it. Like I was hearing a young lady talk about her story, and it was like, dang, that's like me. That was the same thing. So I was starting to face that. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, since this is gonna happen, then I gotta prepare myself. You know what I mean? So I'm ready to check out at this time. You know?
Did you ever took action?
Yeah, so that's how this came about. 187. That's how all this came about. That was taking action. So if I was to go forward, let me back up. So because I thought I was gonna check out, I started doing the craziest things. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a motorcycle. If I'm about to die, I'm gonna get a motorcycle. So I got a motorcycle. If I'm about to die, I'm about to get tattoos. I started getting tattoos, started inking myself up. I felt like God was trying to, in my head, God is like, yo, about to kill, like, I'm thinking like, oh, you trying to kill me. Like, this is, this game, this is the devil's game, right? So I'm like blaming everything on God. And talked to a good friend of mine, it's Georgia boy, aka Kevin, man. My boy, he was talking to me and he was like, man, you're not about to die, you just living. And it was the way he said it. It was like it registered. I said, "Yo, I really am living, huh?" He was like, "Bro, you got a motorcycle, you got tattoos, you got a beautiful family, your kid is good, you living." What I mean, there ain't nothing else. There's no other way to put it. And for some reason, I've heard people say that from what I was going through, but the way he said it registered. And then it was like, "Oh, I'm taking action in my life." You know what I mean? So if I back up a little bit, uh that was part of One Way 7 and how I started is because I was going to the gym to cancel a membership because I was like, I'm about to check out. I need to get rid of this membership that I no longer need, right? I ended up seeing someone that used to be skinny that was solid. And when he was solid, he was, what you doing here? I'm about to check out, like cancel my membership. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just come work out with me for like 2 weeks. Give me your time for 2 weeks. After you want, like I'm telling you the fast way, I'm just speeding it up. If
Mhm.
you want to cancel, then cancel. So the 2 weeks turned into 3 weeks. The 3 weeks turned into 4 weeks. But I'm working out with bodybuilders, like, you know what I mean? So I don't know no better. I'm coming home from that was like the first time I really told myself I'm gonna commit to something no matter what. I'm gonna show up unless it's a death in the family. And I want to say that was the gift. I started doing it. 2 weeks turned to that, 3 weeks. Before you know it, it was 6 months. Before you know it, it was 8. Now I'm growing. Now I'm loving it. You know what I mean? So now I'm like, oh, I'm living. I think I found something, and that became the gift that I was looking for. And that's what kept me going. And before you know it, I used to be in there saying the corniest stuff. I'm a one-way seven, these weights, blah, blah, blah. Saying just the corniest stuff. I just
I'm a
kept saying
187.
187.
Oh,
So
okay.
187 is like, so the whole thing is 187. You from Cali, you know what that means,
Yeah.
right? I just took out the 8 and put the word weight. So I used to just say it. I used to just say it all the time and never knew what it was. It was a person that told me, why you keep saying that? It's like, I don't know, man. I just keep saying it. He's like, you got something. And I never really, I just played with the thought, but just like, nah, that ain't nothing. That's just something I say, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then it just eventually became a real thing. So
Okay, so that's how the movement started.
that's how the movement started. That's literally how the movement started.
So was there a point in this journey where you recommitted your life to God and
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We started going to church doing like once I figured out I was no longer about to die, we started going to the Rock Church over here at East County. We was part of the pastor support team. Like I dropped out. I wasn't feeling that energy. I was like, that's ain't my calling, but my wife stayed in or whatnot. But I was always around. I became more and more around the church and stuff like that. And then I started getting the love again. So I started like, oh, okay, this is God, this is it. This is what God is, he trying to talk, trying to give me something, you know what I mean? So I started being like accepted. I was accepting things, you know what I mean?
was there a certain experience before that pushed you away from God?
Um, it wasn't that it was an experience, it was just that I was just trying to figure out what adulting was. And I just kind of moved away from it, because I'm like, dang, I gotta raise a kid. First of all, I shouldn't even be with this one, in the same household. We sleeping in the same bed.
Mm.
And that was, that's not spiritual, but it was working. So that kind of like pushed me away from the church. Like,
So would you say it
spiritual part.
was yeah, would you say it was more you were ashamed like
Yes, by far. Yes. Like I still deal with that to this day. Like I still be ashamed to say like I could do something and I'll be shameful about it for whatever reason. Like it's still a battle that I'm going
That's
through.
the Holy Spirit, bro.
But
Because I mean, I think we go through the same thing, right? When you do something, you're like, oh, this is kind of out of order, right?
yeah,
You shouldn't be
yeah,
doing this.
yeah, like
when you
yeah.
say the Holy Spirit, like what do you mean by that?
I mean, like the Holy Spirit convicting you. Like it's
Okay.
convicting you when if I lie to you, I walk away. Holy Spirit's like, why you lie to your boyfriend?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I get that, but the shameful part, like
That's the word. I was definitely ashamed, man. I was like, I can't look at a guy like this, man. I didn't done this, you know what I mean? I didn't said this to somebody,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like where that come from? Now I'm ashamed. Now I'm convicting myself. I still feel like sometimes, man, I'd be like, I'm not good enough to be under God's umbrella, you know? That's a
Mm.
spiritual battle that I still go through, like I'm not good enough. There's no way. Not me, it can't be me. I'm like, sometimes I could feel like I'm the worst representation of being what a Christian is. That's a
Facts.
spiritual battle
Facts.
that I have
See,
with
that's
myself.
yeah, and like you said, it's a battle because those are those voices,
Yeah,
right?
I will beat myself up.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
but
that's like my spiritual battle.
what my mentor says is that if if it's something that's trying to put you down, that's not of God.
Right, I see.
And if it's something that's calling you to become a better version of yourself, uplifting you, that's the voices that you hear. The other ones you just,
Right,
you know,
right,
bruh,
right,
take them
right,
out with the
right,
prayer. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Um,
Facts.
and wow, man,
And
that's wild.
God is not upset, bro.
Well, it's like
And God is not. He's not with the grin. And
Right.
it reminds me of us as parents,
that part,
right?
that
So
part.
that part of parents of I can't stay mad with my son the whole time.
Yeah.
It's just it's not part of growth as a parent. You can't be a father, bro, if you're always upset at your
Right,
kids, bro. You
right.
that's not fatherhood.
Yeah.
So God, he don't have that grin. Like,
Right.
you slipping today.
Right.
You know, you know.
So, do you still fight that depression, or is that something that?
It's not as strong as it used to be because I know better now.
Okay.
But I have my good days and I have my bad days. You
Yeah.
know, I can wake up and then like I'm off. Like if I'm not I'm reading the word, right? So I am reading the word, but if I miss 2 or 3 days, then I start getting hard on myself. Like, dang, there it go. I'm like, there it go. I'm not a good
Relate, bro.
yeah, I'm not a good representation of being what God called me to be. You know what I mean? So I start beating myself up before I'm like, if I die today, then I don't deserve to be in heaven. Like I didn't represent you God the right way. So I always feel like that. So let me not even I shouldn't even get to look at the gates. You know what I mean?
And
Not
what's
even worth eating. I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna eat today.
Yeah, that's
So
literally
what?
how I am.
What's your strategy to flip it?
To flip it, so I do a lot of prayer, man. I do a lot of prayer, man. I read the word. I try to get verses. I listen to different podcasts and messages and stuff like that, man. And then I just try to fill myself up, with the love cup of God and whatnot. But
love cup.
yeah.
Mm.
So I try to do that, and I'm just hard on myself all around, man. Like that's just what it is at this time. It's just a spiritual battle that I have, but I always tell myself, I'm just like, dang, I'm not good enough to be. I know my time. Like I'm so sorry. Like I'm always saying that. I'm so sorry. Like I fail every day. You know what I mean? That's what it feels
It's
like.
so crazy, bro. I'm gonna say this, and we've talked about it. I'm hard on myself too, and I just realized, like last year or this year, beginning of this year, it has to do with. I mean, I don't know how your relationship was with your dad, like the long
Yeah.
distance stuff, but I didn't have that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I didn't have. So it comes down to that thought of, man, is this something that's tapping into myself because I didn't have that dad figure, that voice of reasoning, that dad be like, hey, don't do that.
Right. Right.
Or maybe me not having a partnership with my dad where, the first thing that when God came into my life, the first thing that I felt like I want a hug from my father.
Oh.
And it was like the first thing that the Lord gave me. Remember, I was telling you that experience, that worship experience. I was in church, bro, and I asked, Lord, can I please hug you? Like, because, man, my dad picked me up once. I was probably 7 years old. We went to go to this girl's house, my dad's little thing, whatever. Showed up. I don't know what else.
Like,
My side is to my side. No, anyways, so we showed up and my dad was not patient. Probably had me for 20 minutes, came back, dropped me off with my mom. And it was like this was my opportunity, to spend some quality time with my dad, and it didn't happen.
I'm sure that crushed you, bro.
It crushed me because it was so. I can count it with my hand the times that I've gotten close to my dad, like as physical touch, because my dad was like, he was like that, and my sister would be like, oh yeah, my dad was, but I don't have that, like I don't
Yeah.
have that.
The thing is, they say that the father represents security,
Oh man,
and
Facts.
the mom represents life,
Yeah.
right? So that's how we were created and designed. So if a piece is missing, then guess what? It's going to be out of order. That we're not going to function right.
Yeah.
It's like everything in life, right? You take a piece of an engine, they could be the smallest,
a sensor, bro.
Yeah.
could be the smallest
wrap,
thing,
bro.
a little hole that is just detached or like
An
little
air leak,
split.
right on the hose.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And it's so crazy because, man, God, when He shows up, He starts to fill you up with that relationship. I'm your dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even saying dad, I don't know if that happens
Yeah.
to you, but to me, to say dad,
Yeah.
like papa, to say when I used to see my dad, papa, like that word coming out of me felt like a distance already.
Yeah.
Well, because once again, if we don't have that example as the human connection, right, then it's hard for us to relate it in the spiritual, right? Because we don't
I
have that
agree.
experience.
I agree. Yeah, but I can relate to that
Yeah.
because that's what I do for my son now. So every morning before I leave to work, I touch his head. I pray over him. You know what I mean? So I grab his ear. I always grab his ear. He look he like, what you doing? I said, man, go back to sleep, man. Let me do me. I'm praying for him or whatnot. You know, so I do that every morning. And I try to do it with my wife, but she gone before I even get up. You know what I mean? So that's something I put in practice. And I actually give my son hugs. Like I shake it, 'cause he play basket. He love basketball. I shake his hand. Hey man, I need a hug, man. Come give me a hug. He'll come give me a hug. And I always tell him, you know I love you, right? I got you.
How
Whatever
old
you
is he?
need. 17. So this is he a senior.
Okay.
Yeah. So I talked to him, man. That's my world, man. Like that right there, man. It's like I have a daughter too. My daughter's married. So shout out to my daughter. So she's doing her thing in Missouri and
Oh,
whatnot.
well,
So, but my son is like
that's your roadie.
that's my yo. Like I look, man. You're gonna have to kill me behind that one, And that's why I pray for him because I'm like, yo, Lord, please do not let a hair be missing from this kid's head because I know I can easily go off
And your
track.
son
Yeah.
appreciates you, bro.
Yeah, I would hope so, man. That's how I give him
No,
so
he
much.
does.
I try to shower this kid, man. I be fun. I'm a big kid myself, so he'll be playing a game. I randomly come in there and debo him and put him in a headlock. Like, Dad, what you doing? You know what I mean? So, and it's just a way of communication. That's how I show love.
Yeah.
I show love through action and play. I'm playful. So
Yeah.
I like to play. I do that with my wife. I grab, Van, stop. She gonna see this one there. I'll be grabbing her. What you gonna do if I do that? You know what I mean? Like I'm that type of character. But yeah, I always make sure to show
That physical
love. Yeah, I do that. I definitely do every single morning before I go to work.
That's dope. That's
I just
dope.
touch him. Hey, Lord, protect my son. Lord, protect. He's going to school. Make sure he get up. Make sure he do this and this. I just pray. Camp your angels around him. 1,000 angels. Like, yeah.
That part.
The angel that you would have called to come save you when you were on the cross, bring him down and protect him. You know what I mean? So that's how I do that every single morning.
So that's dope.
Every single morning.
So one weight 7, bro. What? Tell the people what that.
So one way 7.
You know how it came to be now.
Yeah.
What's going on now?
So as far as right now, man, we just trying to work with schools. So I'm working with my son's coach, which is Grossmont High School. So we started doing workouts, community workouts, Saturdays, one Saturday out of the month or whatnot. But then coach ended up having he coached football. So once he got busy with that schedule, we kind of fell off. But I'm trying to get back into that. So I met another guy that's an advisor from Mira Mesa High School who asked me to pop out. He wasn't at the pop up we were at. Cool dude. He asked me to pop up for Mira Mesa High School and share a message or whatnot. So it's a possibility I may get out there and do that or whatnot. But it's politics within these schools. You got to have this and that type of stuff. So my message is I'm trying to teach others how to discover their purpose. Like I feel like I found my purpose. It took me this long, but I know it.
Okay.
It feel like I don't know. You guys play baseball. You hit a ball and you feel it. You know when you don't feel the ball and it just got that sweet spot and you know it's gone. You don't gotta look. You just like ooh. That's what it feel like. It feel like I just shot a ball and I know it left. Soon as it left my hand, because everything is playing. It's like falling. Like I'm here today. Like just being here, just is just showing part of it. Just things is just falling in place that I can't explain. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I found it. I know what it is. I have to show the community from where I come from how to discover themselves. So one weight 7 means to have one man under the weight bar 7 days a week. That really means if you do something consistently, you can discover yourself.
8, 7.
Yeah, so you can discover yourself and your purpose and your drive. So we took on that challenge. So then the whole Conquer Your Fear thing came from my name. So we do the Conquer Your Fear challenges. So we're trying to
Can you
build
speak about that? What is that?
so Conquer Your Fear challenges is the workout challenges. So we do that. That's what we called it. So we called it when we met up for Saturdays. It was just come challenge yourself. The hardest thing for most people to do is just get up and commit. You know what I mean? They say that about the gym. The hardest thing to open is the door. You know what I mean? But once you get it, it takes 21 days to make something a habit. You create habits. So I want to teach how to create habits. I want to teach because it's something not everybody want to do. I'm not expecting you to like it, but if you can commit, I feel like the gym teaches you everything about life. Failure, discipline, commitment. It has everything. I go to the gym to fail just so I can get over the failure. Just so I could be like, oh, I failed, but that don't mean I can't do it. I just got to keep going. I see myself grow. That's the
Part of,
message.
yeah, part of the
Yeah.
process. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Did you get motivated to like work with schools because of your son?
I got
Your
more.
son
I got more.
high school?
Not naysay, but I just got motivated because of what was going on in the communities, man. I was seeing death from gang violence and street violence, and I was like, there is no fitness brand standing against that.
Mm.
That was my calling. I was like, yo, why isn't nobody talking about this situation? No, I can't save everybody, but somebody needs to know that they care. You know, they got these cats, like I call anger, passion that's aimed in the wrong direction.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because you got to take that passion, that anger,
Mm.
and teach them how to put it this way, and let's ignite your superpowers.
Shift the energy,
Let's
right?
shift the energy because once you find what it is that you want, you're gonna put this is anger and passion. This is my depression. I put it in, I found it though. So now I'm putting every ounce of energy into showing everybody what can be done. And I know God's got that, you know, because I'm finding out and doing things I cannot explain. You
That's
know,
dope.
so I feel like God gave me this purpose, and now it's like it took me this long to find it, but like I'm running with it. Like I know it. I just know it. I'm like, nah, this is it. I got it. I got it. So I'm excited. I wake up different now. I wake up knowing what I have to do. You know, it's not even a job no more. It's like I'm here. My talent is at my job. Like all my guys that help me, my supervisor does my keychains that you guys have with the QR codes. One of my guys that's next to me that work, my coworker, does my logos. Like my twins next door to me created this logo. So it's like it's like crazy. Things are
That's
falling in perfect, like in place that I can't explain.
crazy.
So I'm like, okay, God has his hand on this, you know?
All right. Well, and that note, bro, we gotta wrap it up. We're in OT, so we got time for 5 yestas. I know we don't, but we can run it real quick because
Hey, dude. Yeah. All right, bro. So we always do random questions, bro, and we're gonna start with the food question, bro. I know that's not Thanksgiving, but what's your go-to plate in Thanksgiving, bro?
Go to play.
Like, what do you look for? What do you look forward to when Thanksgiving comes?
They have to get my mom's gumbo. Gotta be gumbo. It gotta be the gumbo.
With
Yeah.
what? Just by itself?
It could be gumbo, stuffed bell peppers, yeah, the baked
Sausage.
macaroni, yeah, sausage, yeah,
shrimp,
definitely shrimp. Yep, I need that.
turkey.
I'm not a turkey guy. I'm a ham guy.
Okay,
I like the ham.
gotta throw some ham.
Yeah, I like the ham.
Hey, Rose. The side piece. All right, question number 2, bro. What type of help do you recommend for somebody that has those type of suicide thoughts, bro?
Honestly, man, reach out to somebody, man. Don't be scared to reach out to nobody because we all have that pride. I do. We feel like men, man. If you felt for me, I used to feel like I'm a sucker if I have to reach out. Like, you know what I mean? And men need that. We need that male bonding. So, just female too. If it's somebody you can speak to that will listen, just reach out to somebody. You know, that's important.
Yeah, facts. What motivated you? Well, you kind of already talked about it, but what motivated you to keep pushing the brand? Like, what motivates you to keep pushing the brand?
I felt like this is my purpose. God gave me a superpower and I want to ignite it just to show I come from the same places and came from nothing, had depression, and I can push and still become. I'm not the smartest man in the world. I'm probably not the smartest man in the room, but I got the common sense and smart enough to know to go after it.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Question number 4. What is prayer for you?
Prayer is everything for me. That's another superpower. That's like that's my other superpower. Yeah. Prayer is everything for me. I
Bruh.
talk to God every day, even when I'm not talking to him. I'm talking to him. You know, even when I'm driving and I'm thinking, God, I hope you got me on this one. I'm sorry. I apologize for even looking at or going that way or doing something crazy. Like, forgive me because I'm a failure. I feel like that, man. Yeah.
And he says, I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus loves us, bro. All right, Bible question. John 4:18. Jesus says he's the bread of life, bro. What does that mean?
Bread of life to me would be like we gotta go through him. He is the life, you know what I mean? So the Bible, man, pick up. I always try to tell myself the Bible is the bread.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So the word is the bread. So if you're the bread of life, you know when you start reading, my imagination start going crazy. Like it start like God is talking. So just the little stories, and I create these stories for my son. So I literally in my phone, I create the stories that I read in the Bible and write them in my version to tell him the stories because this is stuff I want to tell. Like when I get to the detention centers, I want to ignite these stories in ways they can understand them but influence that they may not know the Bible, but when I got you one-on-one, yeah, this is what I come from. It's faith. This is God. Yeah.
Oh, was that the
Oh,
fifth
bro,
one?
That was the 5th one.
All right.
You
So
rapid fire, bro.
bro. I ain't like that. All right, man. Well, thanks again.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys for having me, man.
Come on, man.
Bro.
Yeah, it started off a little nervous, but once I get it, I was like, okay.
Nah,
That was good.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Good.
appreciate that.
well,
Yes, sir.
where can people find you real quick?
Oh yeah.
You can find me on my IG is OneWeight7, so it's ONE Weight WEIGHT number 7. Also, if you want to go on my website, it's number 1, the word weight, and the number 7.com. We got new merch coming in and whatnot. You'll see a bunch of these shirts on their own site or whatnot. So I appreciate the support from anybody, man.
Facts.
Yeah.
Love it.
Support the
All right,
merch,
people.
bro.
Yeah.
Man, buy a shirt.
Yes, sir.
All right, people. Well, thanks again for tapping in. Make sure you share this story.
We'll tag
Wonderful
the
story.
Instagram, huh?
Yes, sir. We're going to tag it. So go down there. Make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.
Sir.
My boy is a new Jenny Craig. Bro. You know what I mean? He's a new one.
Junior on the beat, boy. Ya estás, podcast, boy. Let's go. Ya estás, no vuelvo para atrás, libre del Alcatraz, en la guerra tengo paz. Mis metralletas es la oración y adoración, salvación para mi nación, manifestar el reino es la meta. Puesta la armadura, que las criaturas andan duras de la dimensión oscura, mi alma se apresura.